evening everyone. Welcome to the Planning and Highways Committee on this day of 1st of September. Just some housekeeping rules that hopefully we won't have a fire drill or a fire, but if we do, please leave the way you came in or exit behind you, and be careful as you go down the steps and congregate into the car park. And if the stairway is blocked, you can go into the lift lobby, which is just on the right, but under no circumstances use the lift. And can I remind everyone to turn their mobiles off or put on silent, please? Thank you. Item 1 on the agenda, apologies for absent and declaration of substitute members.
I haven't received any apologies, Chair.
Item 2, disclosure of interest, to deal with any disclosure by members of any disclosable pecuniary interests and interests other than pecuniary interests, as defined under the Seaford Town Council Code of Conduct and Localism Act 2011 in relation to matters on the agenda. Councillor.
The Martello Tower application, I am a member of that society, but I don't think it should preclude me from having an opinion on it.
Councillor Roger.
11 Cradle Hill Road is only next door to me, so I shall just step back from that part.
I would declare an interest in LW/16/0602, 26 Hindover Road, as I know one of the neighbours. Item 3, public participation. In accordance with Standing Order 3 and Seaford Town Council policy, members of the public will be entitled to speak on general issues concerning this committee on non-planning application matters at this point. People wishing to speak on planning applications may do so immediately before each planning application. Any members like to speak on anything other than planning? No. So, item 4, planning applications. Weekend in the 5th of August. LW/16/0621, 59 Belgrave Road. Members like to comment on this application.
Thank
yes,
you.
Sir.
My name is Tim Kay. My wife and I own 59 Belgrave Road, which happens to be a listed building. At Easter, Storm Katie zoomed through our bit of Seaford and East Bashington and picked up a neighbour's greenhouse and smashed it, and picked up a tree, a Monterey cypress of ours, and knocked down one of the limbs, which fell right across our garage and crushed the roof of the garage. Because we're listed, obviously we've had to go through listed building consent to rebuild the roof of the garage, and the surveyor tells us that actually one wall of the garage has been deflected, pushed out, and we need to rebuild that. It's a plinth wall, only about 3 feet high above the ground, but it has to be completely rebuilt, and then the new roof can be put back on it. We intend to reuse existing old tiles and to be put back in the same sort of construction methods as before. So essentially it'll look as it did before, but obviously we need the permission to tell us that we can do it. I think that's about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other members of the public like to comment? Open it to the committee. Councillor Love.
I did peer through your hedge today.
Right. It doesn't look too bad if I may respond to that, because there was a
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no, that's fine. I just noting that I did go and have a look. I understand that there's been an archaeological investigation requested, and so I would. I'm sorry.
May I respond to that? Because
No, sorry, I once opened it to the committee.
yes,
I can't allow the public to speak.
I mean, I've got no objection to this because it's obviously something that needs to be done, and it's going to be done very tastefully and in keeping. But if there are any archaeological surveys required, then they should take place.
Thank you. And are you proposing no
Yes.
objection?
No objection.
Thank you. Councillor Lathan?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Yes, I'd like to second that proposal. I have no objection at all to this, but the papers did say that the East Sussex County Council archaeologists did need to complete a report, so we need to check that that report has been submitted and that there's no problem. I can't imagine that there would be for 1 minute, but approval I think is subject to that. And I think the proposal is to restore very sympathetically actually the damage that was caused, and I'm certainly in favour of going ahead with that.
I think the East Sussex Archaeology has responded.
Okay.
So,
That's good.
can I have a show of hands of no objection, please? That's unanimous. Thank you.
thank you.
LW/16/0632, 2 Downs View Road. Any members of the public like to comment on this application? Open to the committee. Councillor Lathan?
No objection. Number 6 actually has a garage very close to the fence, and this one is actually quite close to the fence as well. But I have no objection. I think it's in keeping.
Councillor Worcester?
I think it improves the property because whereas it's a one-bay property now, it makes it symmetrical, so I have no objection at all.
So just gives it character. And you're seconding Councillor Latham's? No objection? Yeah. Can I have a show of hands of no objection, please? Thank you. LW/16/0647 and LW/16/0648 Martello Tower at the Esplanade. Any members of the public like to comment on this application? Open to the committee. Councillor?
Yeah, I propose that we have no objection to this. They've worked very hard to get suitable plans, and it's badly needed to allow access to everyone to, for that facility in the town. So no objection.
Councillor Worcester?
I mean, there have been a lot of reports on this, and I think it was the Heritage report did say that there would be some destruction of the existing structure, but because of the advantages of opening it up to the disabled, these outweighed any other effects, so they were fully in favour.
Are you seconding Councillor Lower's suggestion? Thank you, Councillor.
Just to add to that, this was approved by this committee back in 2013, and I couldn't see really what differences there are now to the original proposal, and yet the East Sussex County Council archaeologist is active again, asking for assurance that there's no archaeology that needs to be protected first. And so approval is subject to that. But then I felt that back in 2013 that was all taken care of. So I was rather surprised to see that comment in the proposal.
I think it was come before us ago because it's 3 years.
Yeah, I think that there might well have been some slight changes as well when they did the final structural design of the bridge. They had to do some very minor amendments to make it structurally sound.
Is the lottery grant still in place?
Yes.
Councillor Ballman.
Yeah, just to clarify with this, obviously we're the landlords of this. Yeah, so might be better we just write a note rather than actually having a vote on it. Is it necessary for us to vote on it?
No, you can vote. A planning committee is able to vote on its own property in the same way that Lewes District Council as a planning authority can consider plan applications for Lewes District Council, and they have the ultimate power. And same with East Sussex, they can consider plan applications for schools. So there's a precedent there that you can take a view on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go second, Councillor.
I think Councillor Worcester has, okay. So can I have a show of hands of no objection? That's unanimous. Thank you. Planning applications weekend in the 12th of August. LW/16/0543, 11 Corsica Road. Any members of the public like to comment on this application? Open to the committee. Councillor Nathan.
This is a large plot, and I think it's certainly in keeping, and no objection, particularly as the County Council archaeologist has said that it's all okay.
Councillor Worcester?
Yeah, the archaeologist has in fact downgraded the protection on the site because they said it's been built on and nothing was found there, so they have no objection.
Will you seconding Councillor Latham? Can I have a show of hands of no objection? Unanimous. Thank you. LW/16/0602, 26 Hindover Road. Any members of the public like to comment on this application?
Chairman, my name's Kevin Start. I'm a resident of neighbourhood of the property, 24 Hindover Road. I'd like to just ask a couple of generic questions. The original planning application was for a garage and sunroom granted 28th of April 1958 and not a studio. Planning application for change of use of garage and sunroom accused 15th of November 1988, not a studio. The application now is marked studio, which I'm very surprised that the application has got that far. It's a garage and sunroom, it's stated it's a studio. I don't see what grounds have changed since 1988 to this date. In fact, one of the items that was raised was part of facilities and the lack of ground around the dwelling. But that hasn't changed. In fact, part of it has become worse. Why does the planning application that's gone out to the public not mention anything of an extension to the property? You only find out there's an extension to the property when you actually look at the actual drawings. Why is it the only public planning notice on site is at the rear of number 28 Hindover Road, pinned to a pile of timber that indicates that this notice is 28 and maybe is timber? So this has caused great confusion against the residents out there. My personal objections have been submitted to this office as well as LBC, covering 19 different points and personal issues. So I greatly object to this. Thank you.
Thank you. Open to the committee. Councillor Warren?
Yeah, I think this one is very worrying. I have to admit, I went round there today and again I couldn't find a planning notice, but
That's since.
yeah,
It's disappeared.
the actual building itself is very unsightly, to say the least, and I don't think it's suitable to be converted into housing in any case. It was refused, as this gentleman has said, in 1988. There seems to, I can see that there will be problems with parking, both at the front and the rear. I think it's overdevelopment and it's out of keeping as well, and I would propose to object to it.
Thank you. Councillor Councillor Nathan.
I object to this application for the reasons given. I went and had a look this evening on the way here, and access is via Hindover Crescent or Hindover Road, and what they're proposing, I believe, is a two-storey self-contained unit, looking at the application, and therefore this is certainly over and above what was originally objected to back in 1980, whenever it was. And I think it was objected to then on very good grounds, and I think it should be objected to again for the reasons given, so I second that proposal.
Thank you. Anybody else? So we're objecting on overdevelopment, housekeeping, unsuitable building for dwelling. Did you
Yes.
say councillor?
Yes.
I think there might be parking issues as well.
And parking issue. I thought it was parking issues. And probably, can we make a comment at the lack of notice?
It's a very difficult one because they'll probably claim that I was there, so I was a bit down, that was not
It was in the wrong, cited in the wrong place.
It wasn't on the address as given, it was at the back of the property, which is not a different road.
Yeah, you can include that. I think you could express concern that the original notice wasn't placed in the right location, and also that the application appears to be misleading in that it states it's a studio and there's no permission being given for a studio, from what we've just been told. You could express concern at that. It's not so much an objection, but it's something that the panels should look at.
Are you happy with that, councillor?
Could you repeat the proposal again?
Do you want me? Objection on the grounds of overdevelopment, out of keeping, unsuitable building for dwelling and parking issues that will ensue. And also to express concern with the notices being placed in the wrong location and the application appearing to be misleading as the property doesn't have permission to use a studio at present.
I wonder if we could also reference the refusal on previous occasions.
Yeah, you can just have that as a note in the previous, we also know previous.
Are you happy with that amendment, councillor? Can I have a show of hands of objecting on those grounds, please? Yes, unanimous. LW/16/0610 24A Sutton Avenue. Any members of the public like to comment on this application? Open to the committee. Councillor Lowe?
This sheltered housing scheme already has a commercial cafe restaurant in it, and I see no reason for them not to expand that business, so no objection.
Thank you. Is that fine, seconder? Councillor Lowe?
I agree entirely.
And can I have a show of hands, no objection? Thank you. LW/16/0670 32 Broad Street. Any members of the public like to comment? I'm open to the committee. Councillor Baldwin?
Yeah, just in regard to the losing that space above the property, whether that not to use the commercial part of it, so as to come empty later on, it would be less attractive for someone to take over. I'm not going to the housing aspect of it. I just question whether with a large floor space of one storage of stock, they could take out when the existing vacation respect.
Are you proposing an objection?
Yeah, I think it's probably better to propose an objection to it.
Councillor Lowe and then Councillor Latham.
Yeah, I did go and have a look, and the owner actually took me upstairs to look at the space upstairs, and I was very pleasantly surprised at how large it was, and there's certainly room for two reasonably sized flats there. I think it's the sort of housing that we do need there is a need for those small two-bedroom units in the town. Certainly as the business is as it is now, they don't need that space at all. They've got adequate storage space and adequate secretarial space and space for staff. I'm not a great fan of flat roofs, which is what is going to have at the back, but I don't think there's a way of avoiding that, so I have no objection to it.
I've got a feeling this is on conservation then. So that might come into account.
It didn't appear on any of the documents I looked at.
Councillor Worcester.
It's a very congested area for parking and traffic generally, so I mean it joins on to a fairly busy road, which is, you know, widely used.
That's amazing.
I would like to object on the grounds that it's out of keeping with the area. I think if the flat roof was replaced by an apex roof, then it might look better. But as proposed to, I think it just wouldn't look in place. Therefore, I would second Councillor Bourne's objection, but possibly for different reasons.
But yeah, there's two parking bays at the rear of that, but I guess the actual business itself rather than the residents go to use as well, so it would be a parking issue, I think.
And then you have got a car park at the top of the road.
Paid for, yeah.
No, I've not after 6 o'clock. But yeah, they, you know, be in the town centre. But so I've got on the table first objecting on
Commercial aspect.
This was 6 months rule we had, changing commercial to residential. 6 month rule is changing residential to commercial or commercial to residential. Then we have a rule been proposed that there shouldn't be a change for 6 months after an application is made, change of use.
I'm not sure on that one.
Come back to Wiltshire. The other thing is that area could be used for delivery of stock to that shop, particularly at the rear. It's actually like a warehouse, I think, losing that space as well, potentially.
Right, lots of
Commercial bars, everything.
commercial. Out of keeping. There was another one.
Parking as well.
Not paid to get the principle, it's just losing the benefit.
Right, so you're objecting on loss of commercial property, out of keeping, overdevelopment and issue of parking.
Can I request a recorded vote, please?
So those in favour of the objection at the moment? Councillor Argent? Object, yeah. Councillor Barnum? Object. Councillor Burchett?
Abstain, please.
Councillor Latham?
Object.
Councillor Lower?
No objection.
Councillor Forehaven?
Object.
And Councillor Worcester?
Object.
Okay, so that's carried to object on the grounds outlined.
Right, go on to planning applications weekend in 19th of August, LW/16/05 06521 Hamsey Lane. Any members of the public like to comment? Open to the committee. Councillor Lowe?
I'd just say no objection, it's all internal improvements and it's not altering the outside or any aspects of the building.
I'll find a seconder. Councillor Nathan. And can I have a show of hands with no objection? Yes. LW stroke 16 stroke 0690 11 Cradle Hill Road. Any members of the public like to comment on this application? Open to the committee. Councillor Foreman?
Yeah, sorry, Chair, I should have declared, I actually know the person from the planning, should realise that earlier.
Okay.
Which one?
It's this current one, so.
Cradle Hill, yeah.
So I would say.
Okay.
Councillor Lowe?
It's a reasonable size plot of land and although it is quite a busy corner, there is room there for that and they're still going to have parking, so off-road parking, so I've no objection.
Okay, so find a seconder. Thank you. And can I have a show of hands with no objection? And those...
I abstain.
Abstain. That goes. Tree work applications, 2W stroke 16 stroke 0095 stroke TPO 46 Furl Road. Any members of the public like to comment? Open to the committee. Councillor Borman?
It's a nightmare, Chair. Because we say that we have no objections and they come back, we look back from the history of stuff and quite a lot get reviews. I've still not fully got my head around all of these, how they work out what reductions are and why. That's what I'm mentioning that, Chair.
Why are you objecting?
I'm not objecting to anything in principle. No, safety issue. It's just interesting reading back some of the histories of things that we had no reason to object to, and yet the district council will find things that we don't have to.
And the trees are a different, because they've got a preservation order on them, so you've got to be careful what you do with them, even if they're sycamores.
Yeah, it is. It's a minus thing.
Oh, so are you proposing no objection?
I propose no objection. No objection. We'll wait and see.
And does that find a seconder? Yes. Councillor Lowe. Anybody else like to speak? No? So can I have a show of hands of no objection? Thank you.
I'm surprised how many sycamores there are in this.
Item 5 on the agenda, update report to note the contents of the report. Thank you. Yeah.
We did make the comment that we couldn't read the plans on 29 Stane Road. It was subsequently refused. Has there been any further comment? Or?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
No.
I did see that, yeah. No, there hasn't. I'll ask if we wrote informally to the planning officers about the plans to see if they came back with a response.
We've had one or two that have been very difficult to read. There are
Right.
one or two amongst this present lot.
Is there a reason for that generally, would you say? Is it due to the scan size or what is it?
No, they seem to be hand-drawn, if I...
Oh, okay. So they're fairly amateur.
They don't
Basic.
seem to
Okay.
reproduce very well.
I have also noticed on a few of the applications, the actual application form, which sometimes, gives you information, was partly missing.
Obviously not done
I think there's probably about 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
I imagine that's the copying or the person who's entering the plans onto the website.
Yeah, I think that's
Well,
yeah.
that was what
Yeah.
missing.
There'll be a scanner there about it, which they should know about. Should be aware.
Sometimes, the The applicant has consulted the planning officer, and sometimes there's a comment which can be useful.
Yeah.
Right, so that concludes this meeting at, what's stop? 7:30. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you.